Welcome to Cuisine and Chateau for another episode of Cooking with Beer, a show where we take local chefs, local beer, and local food and make it into one delicious dish. Let's meet our chef for today. Now that we've met our chef, let's find out what beer he'll be cooking with.
So we're just four friends who all kind of knew each other through separate means. Me and Dylan worked together in kitchens and stuff, and had been homebrewing for about 7 years. Another good friend from high school moved to Calgary from Victoria, was interested in getting into brewing, so he started homebrewing with us. And then Matt, the fourth dandy, he was in liquor retail for 15 years and was looking to get out of it. One of the main things we wanted as a brewery was to have really small batches and have control over everything ourselves and sort of do what we wanted, which was impossible under the old laws, but under the new laws, it was kind of this opening for us to say, well, we can be the smallest brewery in the province and we can make 40 different beers in a year. Terry's using the Grisette, which is, it's not a seasonal, but it's not a mainstay. It's just kind of a beer we make pretty often. And it is just really easy and light, but it has some nice rye character, which is some spiciness in the beer. And then it has the good sort of Saison yeast, so you get some good yeast character in there as well. So he's using that one. He's using our Martzen that we brewed for Oktoberfest, which is the classic Oktoberfest style. Perfect for the fall. And it's a really nice malt-forward amber lager. And then the third one is the Oyster Stout, which, like I said, is our classic beer. It's a light-bodied stout, so often when people drink stouts, they're thinking sort of big, heavy meal in a bottle sort of beers, and our stout's sort of the complete opposite. So it's dark, and you get the complexity with the roasted coffee beans and the dark chocolate and stuff like that, but the body on it's really light, so it's really easy drinking. So it's really nice to cook with because of that, because you're not getting a ton of sweetness or a ton of richness. It's just sort of these nice flavors. So. Good luck, Terry. Knock 'em dead.
Let's bring in our chef for today to his very own kitchen. Come on in, Terry Moret, and you are a partner and culinary instructor here at Cuisine and Chateau.
That's right. Thank you, Kate.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us into your kitchen to do this wonderful show, Cooking with Beer.
It's been fun so far.
Yeah,
yes.
It's been great. So let's get started. What are we doing first?
What we're doing first, we are going to do the soup first. So I'm going to turn the heat on here. We've got some garlic. Mm-hmm. Now the garlic...
That's a lot of garlic.
It is a lot of garlic. It is for sure a lot of garlic. And this is actually called sweet garlic. It's going to be called sweet garlic for a reason, because we want to remove the bitterness from that garlic. Yeah. And the way to actually do that will be to blanch it. Have you heard about blanching before?
I've heard about blanching. I've never blanched garlic before, though.
No? Well,
this will be a first.
Yeah, so blanching will remove some of this bitterness there. So I'm going to grab this freshly sliced garlic right there. And we're going to put a little water in there. And we're going to put this on here. And we're going to bring that garlic to a boil. We're going to put a little salt on it. And as soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to refresh it. We're going to strain it back in here, and that will be ready to actually start our soup. In the meantime, we are going to do we're going to start the soup here with a little olive oil in there. And then we have an onion here, right there. And if you want to pick a little bit more time, if you want to remove some from the stamp here on your cutting board, and just make a little pie, we're going to use some of that time as well to make the soup. So onion,
and this is going to be a nice fall soup, right?
That's going to be like a nice bit of a creamy type of flavor soup there, so it'll be quite nice. Yep, quite nice. And when we say sweet, it's not, we don't put much sugar. There is no sugar in there. It's just a sweetness coming out of. That's right, for the flavor there, coming out of those.
It smells so good.
Of the garlic there. So we always start with onion when you make a soup. Usually onions or celery or any kind of aromatic, I should say. And what's very important is to put a little pinch of magic salt here into that food before we start cooking the onions. The salt has to go in, and the reason is the salt is a flavor enhancer, and it's going to bring all the flavor out. And now you see the garlic's coming to a boil. Now I'm going to remove that. I'm going to put this underwater
Is that cold water now?
That's going to be cold water, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be cold water.
Stop
We just
the
want
cooking?
to stop the cooking, and we're going to put it back with the onions anyway. But we mainly want to wash them off.
Yeah, okay.
Really.
Yeah.
Get them a bit milder. You can smell that a bit milder, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that strong garlic flavor.
Not that strong garlic, yeah. Okay, garlic goes in. Now I'm going to mix that up. We're going to put a little bit of pepper on this now. So the first beer we're using for this recipe here, this is the summer ale, right? Which is right here.
So it's going to be a bit of a lighter beer as well.
It's going to be a very,
Yeah.
that's right, a bit of a lighter beer, yeah, absolutely. Which is quite nice. It's got a bit of a hint of citrus in there.
Yeah.
It's very light. I'm going to increase the heat a tiny bit there. And then what we have here, Kate, we have a potato as well. We can use some potato just to actually thicken up a little bit, give a bit of a more like a creamy texture to the soup. So if you want to cut this up in small pieces, it doesn't really matter how, they're going to be all blend together. But smaller the better, because this way, what's going to happen is they're going to cook much faster and the soup will be ready when you need it to. So now this is coming, we don't want to brown the garlic, we just want to get the flavor going, we want them to communicate with the onions, we want those two food what we call party into the pan here. All right, so here we go, we're going to put a bit of a stout in there. Here's the beer. Yeah, here we go. Now I've got this beer just reducing a little bit there. I put a little zest of lemon there. I just love the lemon flavor and that goes super well with this summer ale anyway. So we have that going. Thank you. Okay. Now we have a little chicken stock right here. I'm just going to make sure. And then you can smell it. If you just put your nose on it, you can smell.
Oh, you can smell the lemon,
The lemon, is coming.
And the beer.
And the beer, but you don't smell the alcohol, right?
No, it's
you want that alcohol to evaporate. That's very important. If not, your soup will be quite sour. Right, so now a little of chicken stock here and there. We're not making too much. We just need enough to fill those sweet thing. And I think that's pretty much enough potatoes there. Yeah.
So and the turkey is going to be our main course, right? For
correct.
today.
That's going to be so we're only going to use turkey breast. And actually, you've got some turkey breast right here. You can bring it out here. This is turkey breast. I'm going to put the little thyme now in there too.
Perfect.
Lemon and thyme. This is fantastic. Let's go to simmer gently. Simmer, I mean little bubble, right?
Yeah.
Boiling is big bubble, so we have to keep an eye on it. And so the turkey is right here. And what we are going to do, we're going to do a little brine. Okay. And the brine, we make a brine for two reasons.
Yeah.
Number one is to give flavor, for sure. And we have here into this pot, I've got some water and coarse salt. So it's about 200 ml of water for 40 grams of coarse salt.
And some spices in there.
And then some spices in there. I've got a bit of star anise. I've got some cinnamon sticks. I've got a little bit of fennel, right? A couple of pieces of clove. Very simple. And what I did, I just brought it to a simmer just to melt the salt.
Okay.
And again, we don't want to boil it because if you boil, you evaporate the water, you concentrate the salt, and then you got to hand up with a salty brine.
Okay.
The second thing this brine will do to the turkey, it will of course remain the moisture into it. It will help to remain moisture, which is very, very important into this. So this is done. We've got this, and this is the stout we're going to be using for the entree. And we're going to make a coffee sauce. I tested this, and it was like a fantastic thing.
Oh, it's so smooth.
It's super
and
smooth, got this nice roasted coffee flavor. It's fantastic. So I thought we're going to make a nice coffee sauce with it.
Yes,
but I'm going to pour this stout right into the cool. I just cool the mixture. It's kind of room temperature, but it's not hot. And then from now we are going just to pour this mixture over, right over here.
Perfect.
Yeah. It will take about, I would say, half an hour to brine, more or less. It's not super salty. It's going to really get this beer flavor too. Yeah. And then from there, we're going to dry it, and we'll talk more about the cooking process of this beast here.
Sure. Yes, that's a good time. We should probably throw to a commercial break, and we're going to get this soup going. We're going to get the turkey going, and smells like fall, looks like fall. Absolutely delicious. Stay with us. Welcome back into into the kitchen. We've got lots on the go here. We've got our turkey in its brine with the oyster stout from Dandy Brewing. We also have our soup going here. So we're in the middle of a couple of things here, but now we're going to circle back to the soup and make some crackers for it.
Yeah, that's right. I mentioned earlier we're going to serve the soup into those little pumpkin, but with some little pumpkin crackers. So what I do have here, I've got the dough, which I made earlier, and the dough is almost like a shortbread dough.
Okay.
And what I did, I kind of, play with the ingredient. But the shortbread, it's actually flour and butter. That's the two main ingredients, almost equal parts.
Yeah.
And everything else you put in there, it's really up to you what style you want to give that. I use some rye flour. I use some whole wheat flour. I also use some pumpkin puree. That's the colors coming from. Lots of, like 4 or 5 tablespoons of pumpkin puree. And I wanted to put some cheese in there, and I actually use some blue cheese in here too. I thought it would be nice to have a bit of a blue cheese flavor. So what's happening is this one, I just rolled it out. And then I've got here ready, I just roll it with a rolling pin on the table there. So I cut up some little pieces like that. And what you need to do, if you want to take the fork and just to poke here some holes, which is going to help it not to fluff too much. If not, it will really take a bit of volume there. It's going to fluff up. So this one is going to stay in place when we're going to cook this. That's it. And then the idea here is we're going to actually cover those with some pumpkin seeds.
Okay,
a little
for a
bit
little
of pumpkin.
topping?
Yeah, a little popping. So just beside you, Kate, I do have a small bowl out there. This is good. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. And then you've got a bowl. And into this bowl, we have in there some pumpkin seeds, a little bit of maple syrup, salt and pepper, and a little bit of cayenne pepper in there. And a touch of soy sauce, actually. Put a touch of soy sauce in there. Yeah, just a little bit, not too much. And then that's going to get hopped into the oven. Now, this soup, when I'm finishing the soup here, I just check the potato. That's basically what you have to look to make sure they're getting soft, okay, which is the case now. And as soon as they're soft, we can move forward, and we're going to add some half and half. This is 10% coffee cream. And the butter will be added just to the end.
Good.
This is.
I snuck some.
Oh, you did snack some, yeah, this is good. That's perfect. So that's going to go into the oven here. And that's going to take about 15 minutes. And my goodness, that was quick. They just came out.
Your oven is so fast.
Yes, it's a fantastic oven, and they really want an oven like this. And here they come out nice and so after when they come out, they're a bit soft.
Okay.
You want to make sure you let them set a little bit just to chill before you want to handle them, just a tiny, tiny bit, okay? So that being said, the cream is coming here to a little simmer. You could put like coconut milk, would be quite nice as well if you'd like to.
That's a good idea.
If you don't want to put milk in there. But here I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to add my spoon of butter. And like in any good recipes, when you put the butter, that's actually meaning this is it. This is the end of it. When you put the butter, you do not cook with the butter at all. So we're going to put this into the Vitamix. And we don't want to cook the butter, we just want to be there to give this nice finish, the creamy, the flavor, everything will be great with that butter in there. So here we're going to pour this in there.
More butter the better, right?
More butter the better, yeah, lots of dishes. I grew up on butter, back in France, and butter is a big thing. And there is so many different types of butter, for so many different reasons, but we just eat raw butter and we love it.
Of course we do.
Okay, and that's gonna go in there. And then I love this little Vitamix here to make those instant soup. Here we go. Just a little blend.
Beautiful, yeah. Oh, it smells so good.
And I'm gonna grab one of those little pumpkin here. Just so this has been cooked in there, and now we have this little soup. It's going to go right in there. This is kind of a neat little, presentation as well. And then we've got those crackers already here.
What a beautiful way to plate your soup.
Yeah. So the crackers, we can maybe just put it on the side here, I guess. Yeah.
Shall we move on to our main course?
We can definitely move to the main course for sure. So we're going to serve this turkey with two things. One is a barley risotto, which is, come along nicely with the beer flavor anyway.
Yeah.
And what we'll do, I'm going to put you to work here.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm ready.
Here, I'll give you a spoon, and then you can start. Same idea as for the soup. We're making a risotto. We've got onions already chopped up. So you can go ahead. Bacon. This is quite of a nice, it'll bring a bit of smokiness to it, right?
Put our onions in?
Yeah, put the onion in there. You can put the bacon in the same time. What else we have for this recipe? Well, we've got some barley. We've got some chopped garlic as well here. Okay. And this one we're going to talk about the beer that goes with it,
Yeah.
which is the Underworld Stout beer.
So that's an oyster stout.
Oyster Stout, yes. So this
And
is what we have there. It's quite of a nice dark beer. I mean, so this is nice. You see, it's kind of
Yeah.
watering a tiny bit, but we need that fat in order to start the risotto. Risotto is a
Just
cooking
eat that.
technique,
I
right?
could probably just eat that without the
Yeah, that's
risotto.
right. Put it on the toast, eh?
Yeah.
And that's it. You set to
Onions
go.
and bacon.
Yeah, I'm going to put some chicken stock to warm up here.
Okay.
We don't want it to be, and when you put the liquid in there, we want to make sure it's not too hot, because
Yeah.
if not, the liquid evaporates.
Yeah, and you don't
And
want
then
that.
you get nothing left, right? So let's move it on the side a bit,
Okay.
and then we're gonna move this on the side, and then you're gonna mix it, and you tell me
Keep
when.
mixing.
You tell me whenever.
When. Okay.
And here we go. Yeah, this is good.
That looks good.
It does smell nice and
Yeah.
warm. This is the garlic. We could have put it a bit earlier. I was going to put it with the onions, but you know, it's never too late to put a touch of garlic there. Little bit, maybe just a bit of sage here.
Yeah.
Just like that. Now we can add some
Add some
chicken
of this.
stock. Yeah, you can put one spoon
Perfect.
of chicken stock, maybe 2. Yeah, you go ahead. Now I'm going to give you a tiny bit more, and what you'll do here, Kate, you're going to give it a good shake, mix it up, clean the edge here, and let it do its things.
Let it.
That's it. We should not
like
disturb
that?
it. That's it. You can shake the pan, the thing here, put it across. Right,
Beautiful.
perfect. And we're going to let it just happen very gently. We don't want to stir it
made
all
a
the
big
time.
mess.
There is no need. No, this is okay. You know, this is good. Mess mean, you know,
Yeah, means we're
here.
cooking.
That's right. So that's going to come along. Now, in the same time, while this is cooking, we're going to talk about the garnish here, which is again, you know, for flavor. We've got those little carrots here,
Yeah.
and then we're going to put some different type of beer on those, and then. This is called Une vieille maîtresse, which I really love, you know, because the whole mistress. And
And it's French.
and then it is French.
Yeah.
They have some very interesting name, actually.
Yeah.
I really like this. Those guys. They have come up with some good ideas.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty nice, very light beer, and you can see the color of it. It's very, very flavorful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
it's
so you're
extremely
just gonna
refreshing.
Get the
Yeah.
carrots to cook in there.
Yeah, we got to get them to braise in there. Of course, because we always say earlier, butter, it's always better with a little butter. We got to
Yeah.
add a tiny bit of butter in there, little salt, a little pepper there. And then we want to get those guys cooking. I'm going to crank the risotto here. We
Sure.
want to see
Yeah.
simmering a little bit. That's going to come here. Maybe a bit of fresh thyme, that would be nice.
Perfect, I can do
just put
that.
a piece in there, just throw it in. Yeah, and then we're going to cover that with a piece of parchment paper. If we don't cover it, the beer will
Yeah.
evaporate too fast.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then you're going to keep adding some beer. So you can control the evaporation by having a little piece
Oh.
of paper right on the top. I'm going to kind of look at the center here and just
Yeah.
cut slightly the ends. And I'm going to make a hole at the end here because we still want some evaporation,
Yeah.
right? So we've got this little hollow piece here, and that's going to come right on the top to protect them. In the same time, they're going to be,
Yeah.
you know, gently braising in there. So now what we have here, we got to grab a pan, and then I'm going to sear that turkey here. So I'm going to put a little olive oil in there. A little butter, of course, and I'm going to have you to put a little bit of salt and pepper on the turkey here.
turkey.
And then you can do it on both sides. You can use a tongue here just to flip it over. Okay, little butter coming in here now. Now the risotto, I can tell the bubbles getting cast in there. Yeah, very little liquid left in the center here. So I'm going to add another spoon or 2 of chicken stock right there just to cover it. I'm going to move my chicken stock here because we still have, Kate, to do the sauce, right?
Yes.
There is some
We got
composition
lots-
going on here.
Oh my goodness, we got lots going on.
Yeah, sauce. So I'm going to use that pan here to make the sauce. The sauce we're doing today, it's endive and coffee sauce. When
Okay.
I taste the beer, I said, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is going to be so awesome. So what we have here, we've got some endive, we've got some coffee. This is instant coffee.
Oh, yum.
And then we have here some spices, which is
Yeah.
a bit of cardamom, ground cardamom, and a little bit of coriander in there. I like this combination. I like the cardamom. Cardamom and chocolate goes very well
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
together in dessert. And did you put some thyme in there?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Oh.
This is a good idea. You see?
That was a mistake. That was a cooking mistake.
Yeah,
but
cooking mistake.
we'll run with it.
Okay, no, this is
Roll
good.
with it.
Always a good idea to have a little bit of herbs. in there. Now we've got the turkey. It's nice and dry. This is getting foamy. You can see my butter getting foamy. I like to add the butter in there for the flavor, for sure. And also it will help to control the temperature of the olive oil, right? So I'm going to turn this down a tiny bit now. We don't want to sear it. We don't want to over-sear it. We want to make sure
want to get some color.
correct. Color on both sides. So what we have, what you're going to do here with those endive, you're going to cut them across and cut them in quarter, actually. And then by cutting them in quarter, you're going to be able to remove the core way easier. That's it, yeah. And then from here, you can see the core right here, and then you're going to run your knife underneath and just remove that core and put it in a little bin here near the garbage. Now look at that turkey breast here, giving a beautiful color. This is nice. Okay, in that thing, I'm going to put them to start on the oil there. You don't have to heat up the oil too much. It's going to heat up all together, gently there. Now, this turkey, now you can see on both sides, it's got a nice color.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't want this to go too much now. So I'm going to pull this down here. We can use either hand, doesn't really matter. And what we'll do, actually, we're going to turn it on a nice smooth side.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn this down. And of course, what do I need to put into those endive?
Salt.
A little pinch of salt. Yeah, let's get that flavor going here. I'm going to just wheel them slightly, just like you would wheel some spinach, okay?
Yeah.
Now you can see those carrots, they're going up and down, so it's a bit too high. I'm going to turn it down. We want them to simmer. Again, the risotto is getting ready. There is lots of things happening here. Okay, now I'm going to give you a brush with a bit of honey right here.
Okay, and brush the honey.
Yeah,
off the
that's
turkey.
right. And then you can brush this. And also I've got a bag here with some toasted sunflower seeds. And what I need to do is to use this little guy here and just like break them down a tiny bit, and then you can cover the turkey when you're done with it, okay? So here we go. That's it.
Get to take out all your rage.
Yeah, here we go, you know, get all your frustration out here and those things. Now this is getting nicely wilted. I don't want to do it much more than that because they will keep cooking into the sauce. I'm going to add a pinch of sugar, okay, to those endive because sometimes they can be a bit bitter, right? And the sugar will really help to start this caramelization.
And I'm going to put this on top, right?
Correct, yes. Lovely, and you can spread it all over the top here. This is nice, okay. Now,
so nice.
Beer. We've been talking about beer. A bit more beer here, on the world. The
more
Dandy
beer
also
into
stout. Yes, like this beautiful coffee richness. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to kind of exaggerate a little bit here, put a bit more. More beer the better. That's the new thing we have to say.
The more beer the better.
Here in Calgary. In France it's more better the better. Here it's more beer the better.
That'll be our thing.
That will be our thing, exactly. So this is going to simmer. Thyme, why not? You've got some thyme here ready. I'm going to put a little bit of spices in there. And let that simmering gently.
Perfect.
And I'm going to add some of my instant coffee into the beer just to reinforce. I don't want to overdo it.
Well, maybe we should take a break and we're going to get.
Good idea.
We're going to pull this all together and we're going to put it on a plate for you to see. And don't forget, we also have dessert coming. Stay with us. You're watching Cooking with Beer. Welcome back to the kitchen, and when you left us, we had lots on the go, and we still have lots going on for our main course, which we're about to plate, but we're going to start our dessert next, which is a French toast.
French toast, that's right. We have a French toast, and of course we're going to be using some beer into that French toast as well here. So what I do have in here, I do have a bit of cream, like the 10% cream, the coffee cream, the same we used for the garlic soup earlier. I've got a couple of eggs, I've got some spices, a bit of cinnamon, a bit of clove, and a little bit of mace.
Because and another dandy beer,
Yeah, and we're going to use also another dandy beer, that's right. So this is Untitled Maison. That's what they actually call it, the Marzen Untitled. I'm going to put a little bit of beer in there too. And then if you just want to mix that up, you're gonna pour this in there, and then we can use some of this bread. This bread here is from our baker, our local baker, Aviv, from the Citizen Bakery.
Oh yeah.
This is a beautiful sourdough he made, and I've been chatting with him, and he said, you know, sourdough would be quite interesting for this dessert here. You go ahead,
flip it.
put them in on both sides there. I'm gonna turn down the butter a tiny bit here so it does not go too far. There, make sure it's nicely absorbed, okay? You've got as much as, it has to be quite heavy when you put them in. And what we have here, we also have this compote of rhubarb, and actually the rhubarb does not even need to be blended because it's already falling apart here, which is fantastic. Just rhubarb. We use some of that Marzen beer as well into the rhubarb.
Beautiful.
And a little bit of lemon in there, and a bit of sugar, and that's it. The turkey's been resting for a while now. I'm just going to open this drawer, get that turkey out right here. Here we go. I'm going to put the turkey on my cutting board there. Good.
Perfect.
Now we also have the risotto, which is ready. I'm going to grab the plate here. I'm going to use this one. The sauce is still simmering very gently. I just added a touch of cream into the sauce. That's all it is.
Perfect.
Okay, then
I'll keep mixing everything over here.
The carrot, yes, absolutely. The carrot, the barley risotto is right here. So we want to do something, you know, fairly rustic here. I'm going to put a nice spoon of this barley on the plate there. Okay, we've got those carrots there. What we can do with those carrots, we can add a touch of maple syrup right into those carrots there, just at the end. A little bit of maple syrup to give this little comfort, sweetness to it. Into the rhubarb compote, you can add a little pinch of though. This is like dry rosemary. This is from my yard, actually.
Just a few of these?
Yeah, just a few. You can break them down a tiny bit, yeah. Put a few. So here are the carrots. I'm going to put a bunch of carrots right on there. Okay. And then we're going to have some of that turkey right here. So I'm just going to cut some of these pieces here.
Look at these beautiful fall colors.
It is, yeah.
So pretty.
And this turkey is nice and juicy there. I checked the temperature. The internal temperature of the turkey should be about 165, about 73 degrees Celsius or 165 Fahrenheit. Okay, and that will give you.
Oh, I can't wait to try that.
Flavor. This is the sauce. This is the stout espresso endive sauce. We go right on the plate here.
Yeah. So there's our main course. Beautiful.
This is our main course right there. Now dessert. I'm going to put a little bit of this compote right on the plate. So let's grab me just one here. That's it. Yeah, we're just going to put one on this plate for now. Okay. I'm going to cut that in half here.
Beautiful.
Just a little canal of cream here. We're going to add this little canal of whipped cream right over the top there.
There you go.
Organized.
Dessert. I can cheers to that. There
Thank
you go.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Very welcome. Thank you for being here.
Join us next time as we continue our adventure with cooking with beer.